Arteta's Max Dowman bombshell, the squad selection shock that could change everything. Welcome to Football Focus. Hope you're all having a great day. Before we kick off, if you love football, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive in. Arsenal's clash with Manchester United is always a fixture that ignites the footballing world, with global attention centred on every tactical decision, squad inclusion and player omission. This particular encounter at Old Trafford has carried even greater intrigue, not only because of its implications in the Premier League title race, but because of the absence of two names many expected to see within Arsenal's travelling squad: Max Dowman, the teenage prodigy from Hale End, and Christian Nørgaard, the seasoned Danish midfielder who had been widely linked with a potential role in Mikel Arteta's evolving system. Their absence has sparked debate among Arsenal fans, pundits, and rival supporters alike, and the reasons behind it open a fascinating window into the strategies, philosophies, and ambitions driving Arsenal in this critical phase of their project under Arteta. For Max Dowman, the story is one of expectation meeting reality in the most high-pressure circumstances. The young midfielder, who only turned 16 recently, has been heralded as the jewel of Hale End's next generation, a player capable of following in the footsteps of Bukayo Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. His rise through Arsenal's academy ranks has been rapid, with coaches often stunned by his ability to dictate tempo, find pockets of space, and deliver mature decision-making far beyond his years. Dowman had been included in first-team training in the lead-up to Arsenal's pre-season, sparking whispers that Arteta was ready to accelerate his integration in a way similar to how Cesc Fabregas was thrust into senior football at a young age nearly 2 decades ago. The clamour to see Dowman in the squad against Manchester United was therefore immense. Fans wanted to witness the latest Hale End starlet showcase his ability on the grand stage, especially in a fixture that carries such emotional weight. Yet Arteta's decision to leave him out of the squad was a calculated one. Dowman's absence was not due to injury or disciplinary reasons, but rather a conscious choice rooted in player development and long-term planning. Arsenal sources close to the coaching staff emphasised that while Dowman is physically gifted, technically superb, and tactically intelligent, the demands of an away fixture at Old Trafford were deemed premature. The club recognises the risks of exposing a young player too early, particularly in a hostile environment against experienced opponents who will show no mercy to a teenager still adjusting to the senior pace of football. Arteta himself has often spoken about protecting young players from the weight of expectation. He knows Arsenal fans are desperate for their next Hale End hero, but he is equally aware of the cautionary tales of talents who were pushed into the spotlight too soon, only to fade under pressure. For Dowman, the plan remains gradual integration, more training sessions with the first team, possible appearances in cup competitions, and carefully chosen league minutes when the environment is more controlled. The Manchester United fixture, with its historic rivalry, psychological intensity, and potential tactical chaos, was not the stage Arteta felt comfortable placing a 16-year-old on just yet. Meanwhile, the absence of Christian Norgaard raised a distinctively different set of questions. The Danish international has been linked with Arsenal repeatedly in recent months, with speculation suggesting he was earmarked as a potential midfield reinforcement. Norgaard's leadership qualities, defensive discipline, and experience at Brentford have made him an admired figure within Premier League circles, and Arsenal's reported interest reflected Arteta's desire for a reliable presence in midfield to support Declan Rice and offer balance to a squad often accused of lacking depth. Yet despite those links, Norgaard was nowhere near Arsenal's squad against Manchester United, leading many to ask whether the supposed transfer was ever as advanced as claimed. The reality is that Norgaard remains a Brentford player, and Arsenal have yet to formally conclude a deal for him, with Andrea Berta now operating behind the scenes as Arsenal's new transfer architect. The club's midfield planning has taken a nuanced approach. Rather than rushing into acquiring Norgaard, Arsenal appeared to be weighing their options carefully, balancing financial commitments with squad priorities. The absence of Norgaard in the Arsenal squad against United underlines that negotiations, if they are taking place, are still ongoing and far from completion. Until such a deal is confirmed, he cannot feature in any matchday squad. Beyond the obvious contractual reality, there are also tactical and strategic layers to this decision. Arsenal's midfield against United was built around Declan Rice's dominance, Martin Odegaard's creativity, and the industrious support of Kai Havertz, with Jorginho and Thomas Partey also offering depth. Adding Norgaard at this moment could complicate rotation, unsettle dynamics, and force tactical adjustments that Arteta is unwilling to gamble on during such a crucial period of the season. For Arteta, squad cohesion is paramount, and he prefers to integrate new players during training camps or less pressurised fixtures rather than throwing them into the cauldron of Old Trafford. Another dimension lies in Arsenal's broader transfer ambitions. The pursuit of a player like Norgaard represents a short-term fix, a plug for potential injury crises, and a stabiliser in games where composure is needed. But Arsenal's long-term ambitions remain centred on signing a younger, dynamic midfielder who can operate at the elite level for years to come. This explains why the likes of Martin Zubimendi and Bruno Guimaraes have consistently featured in Arsenal's radar. If Arsenal are indeed serious about adding Norgaard, it is likely as a squad option rather than a headline acquisition, which is why his absence from the United clash raised eyebrows, but was not entirely surprising when viewed through the lens of long-term strategy. For fans, however, the optics were clear. The excitement of seeing Dowman and the intrigue of Norgaard both denied in one of Arsenal's biggest fixtures of the season. It speaks volumes about the balance Arteta must strike between youth development, transfer strategy, and squad consistency. His omission of Dowman underlines his belief that players must be protected and nurtured rather than sacrificed to the pressure cooker of a historic rivalry. His lack of inclusion for Norgaard emphasises Arsenal's pragmatism in the transfer market, ensuring that decisions are not rushed simply to satisfy media speculation or fan impatience. In many ways, the absences of these two players highlight the two sides of Arsenal's project under Arteta. On one side, the academy, Hale End, producing gems like Dowman who represent the future of the club's identity. On another, the transfer market, with Arsenal carefully navigating a path to ensure they have the right blend of youth, experience, and tactical suitability. Both journeys are essential to Arsenal's long-term competitiveness, but both require patience, timing, and discipline, qualities that may frustrate fans in the short term, but are crucial in shaping the club's resurgence. What remains certain is that this discussion will not fade quickly. Supporters will continue to demand Dowman's inclusion, particularly in fixtures against lesser opposition where the stakes are not as high. They will also continue to scrutinise Arsenal's transfer dealings, especially if the midfield shows signs of strain in the coming months. For now, though, the reasons are clear. Max Dowman is being shielded for his own development, and Christian Norgaard is not yet an Arsenal player. The Old Trafford battle may have taken place without them, but their names lingered heavily in the background conversation, reminding everyone that in football, absence can be just as powerful a narrative as presence. Arsenal's story this season is not just about who plays, but about who waits, who arrives, and who will shape the next chapter of the club's pursuit of greatness. Thank you so much for watching our video. For all the latest football news and analysis, be sure to subscribe to the Football Focus YouTube channel and stay with us.